Aiboan. This lesson is going to focus on noun phrases as complements. Right. A noun phrase can be the complement of the verb before it. Verbs that can take complements are called link verbs. The link verb before a noun phrase must not be dropped. Now, there's a lot of things there. Number one, a noun phrase can be the complement of the verb before it. Verbs that take complements are called link verbs. The link verb before a noun phrase must not be dropped. Now let's have a look at all of these things that were told. The little girl appears to be excited. Okay. Who is the subject? The little girl. Okay. Appears to be excited. Now, what is the complement? What is her appearance? To be excited. So, she seems to be excited. Complement of appears. Right? Now, if you can see, a noun phrase can be the complement of a verb. This is the verb before it. Verbs that take complements are called link verbs. The link verb before a noun phrase must not be dropped. So you can't say the little girl to be excited. You can't drop it. The little girl appears to be excited. Okay. So when you have this noun phrase here, right, the verb is before it. And complements, verbs that take complements, these verbs are called link verbs. Now you could write another example like this. The little girl seems to be excited. So the little girl is the subject plus this is the verb. This bit is the noun phrase. And, right, it is just after the verb, or it appears, before that appears the verb. And whatever the verb which it takes the complement form, right, is called a link verb. And here are some examples. Become, appear, grew, prove, seem, turn out. Right? Next one. A noun phrase beginning with a present participle can be the complement of the verb to be, but not of other link verbs. That has a lot there. Let's have a look at it. Their main concern was enjoying life. They seemed enjoying life. Now let's have a look at it. Their main concern was enjoying life. A noun phrase beginning with a present participle can be the complement of the verb to be, right? But not of other linking verbs. So here you have the subject plus the link verb to be. But here they seemed, subject plus link verb other than to be is incorrect. Okay. So only the be verb, only the link verb to be ones, right, can have the present participle. Other than that, they seemed is wrong because the verb other than the verb to be cannot be put before a present participle. Next one. So here, a noun phrase beginning with an infinitive can complement of the verb to be and other link verbs as well. Both are fine, right? So here you can see their main concern was to enjoy life, infinitive, to enjoy life, infinitive. You could use it with the link verb to be or not the link verb to be but with other verbs as well, right? So their main concern was to enjoy life is correct. They seem to enjoy life is also correct. Both are correct. Right, so moving on. A noun phrase does not have a finite verb. It can have a non-finite verb, which means an infinitive or a present participle. The foreigners seem to prefer our mountain resorts, which means it has an infinitive, or she does her work without wasting any time. It has a present participle. Right. Moving on, find out why B is correct and why is A wrong. The judgment proved being a wise one. Okay. The judgment proved to be a wise one. So here, what we have to look at is if your noun phrase does not have a finite verb, then it can have a non-finite verb, an infinitive or a present participle, right? So the judgment proved to be a wise one and not being a wise one. Alright, so moving on, why is 2B correct and why is A wrong? His greatest pleasure surfing the internet. His greatest pleasure is surfing the internet. Okay. So when you come back to the rules, right, you have to have what? A noun phrase beginning with a present participle can be the complementer of the verb to be but not of the other linking verbs, right? So you have to say the main concern was enjoying the life, but you can't say they seemed enjoying life, okay? So coming back to this, his greatest pleasure surfing the internet is wrong, but his greatest pleasure is surfing the internet. Right. Alright, moving on. Underline only the noun phrases that are complements, right? So I'll read you through the sentences. Underline the ones which are noun phrases, but not everything. The noun phrases that are complements only, right? Her dream is to go back to her home country one day. I have always detested hearing talk of politics. Their favorite pastime was hanging around parks. My impression about the new highway plans proved to be correct. They don't expect you to make great changes immediately. My parents' favorite pastime is playing board games against us. The medical students observed the surgeon operating on a heart patient. After a month, she became an active member of the club. A gift will be given to the funniest person at the contest. They plan to move to a quiet village next month. For him, the major issue has been dealing with tough tourists. Alright, so hopefully you don't need to write the whole thing, but if you could at least jot down the noun phrase that acts like the complement, that would be sufficient. Alright, so in the first one, we don't have noun phrases that are complements. For the second one, we don't have. But for the third one, we do have hanging around parks. The fourth one, we have one to be correct. Fifth one, we don't have any. The sixth one, we do have playing board games against us. Seventh one, we don't have anything. In the eighth one, we have an active member of the club. Ninth one, we don't have anything. 10th one, we don't have anything. And in the 11th one, dealing with tough tourists. Alright, so moving on, tick the correct sentences. I have grown to admire his devastating candidness. To them, she seems to be out of touch with reality. The idea is let's students learn at their own pace. The surprising news report turned out to be true. One of the roles of carbohydrate providing energy. Moving on, I bought a land grow into a lovely garden. The protesters seem to have gone hysterical. Their theory has proven being shockingly accurate. Her main priority was reunited the divided people. So, jot down the sentences or the numbers which are correct in your notebook. So let's have a look at the first one. I have grown to admire his devastating candidness is fine. To them, she seems to be out of touch with reality. Not correct. The idea is let's students learn at their own pace. No, incorrect. The surprising news report turned out to be true. Perfectly fine. One of the roles of carbohydrate providing, no, is to provide energy. So wrong. Number 6. I bought a land grow into a lovely garden. Wrong. The protesters seem to have gone hysterical. Fine, that's fine. To have gone. Their theory has proven being shockingly accurate. Their theory has proven to be shockingly accurate. So that's wrong again. Her main priority was reunited divided people. Wrong. Her main priority was reuniting the divided people. So again, wrong. Right, so moving on, rearrange the words to form noun phrases and complete the sentences. The shy boy came as Bambi, right? So Bambi is like cute, right? Known to. Her specialty was art, fix, identifying in of the world. The new scheme appears everyone office in suit thereto. Your role is required everyone giving when help. The experience seems a done good have him off to world. Her contribution could be counseling couples problems with young. Alright, so please pause the video and jot down the answers. And hopefully you've done it by now. Let us have a look at the answers together. Right, the first one. The shy boy came to be known as Bambi. Second one, her specialty was identifying fakes in the world of art. The next one, number 3, the new scheme appears to suit everyone in the office. The fourth one, your role is giving everyone help when required. Question number 5. The experience seems to have done him a world of good. Number 6, which is the last one. Her contribution could be counseling young couples with problems. Alright, so hopefully you've jotted down all the answers and you've got them correct. Alright, so moving on, underline the correct words in the brackets, right? My method has proved being the correct one, or my method has proved to be the correct one. So what is the rule? To be the correct one. Betty's idea of fun is drawing. You can't say is draws, is drawing pictures with her mother's eyeliner. The atmosphere seemed to vibrate. Remember, you could have it along with the to be verb as well as the other verbs, right? To vibrate with enthusiasm. His desire has long been staying at the top of the list. In time, she'll come to understand his affection. Next one. Rosie's only wish was to win back the cup. Our players appear having improved, or our players appear to have, it's to have improved considerably. His main hobby is making her laugh. My friend's employment may be teaching the disabled. The dog was whining or whining to evoke our concern. It should be the dog was whining to evoke our concern. Right, so we're nearly coming towards the latter part of the lesson and the next activity. Change the sentences in the B. So this is the B column and this is the A. So you need to change the noun phrases in B to complete A. Okay. Use the word forms in the brackets. So you have an infinitive, present participle, infinitive, infinitive, present participle, right? So change it accordingly so that you could combine it with A. Alright. So pause your video here, take a few minutes and do it on your own. After that, I will do it along with you as the usual way. So hopefully you have completed it now. Let's have a look at the answers together. The once spectacular mansions, so let's write it down. The once spectacular mansions seem infinitive to, right? So the once spectacular mansions seem to have been left to rot. To have been left to rot. Second one, his fault has always been now it should be present participle. So making irrational plans. Making irrational plans. The third one, her evidently ludicrous. Ludicrous means foolish, right? If you don't know some words, look it up from the dictionary. Her evidently ludicrous. So her evidently ludicrous idea proved So her evidently ludicrous idea proved, now what do we have to do? Infinitive, right? So prove to be magnificently sound, right? To be magnificently sound. The fourth one, the unsettled people have come. The unsettled people have come. Infinitive, right? So the unsettled people have come to trust and respect her. Trust and respect her. Right. Question number 5. What enraged them is? What enraged them is present participle, right? So what enraged them is being managed like fools. Being managed like fools. Question number 6. For her, the hard part would be. For her, the hard part would be present participle. So, for her, the hard part would be disregarding the noise of traffic. Would be disregarding the noise of traffic. Alright, so here we have got our answers. And having a look at our final activity. Rewrite the paragraph correctly using noun phrases as complements. Our lecturer on Shakespeare appeared, lived in a world of his own. Our faces seemed being just a blur to him. When we greeted him, his notion of a friendly response, muttering something with a vague smile. One of our joys was took advantage of his absent-mindedness. Sometimes his melodious voice proved being soporific, right? That means you induce like sleepiness, right? And some of us slept happily right in front of him. One day we were jolted awake by his calling out our names and saying, Shakespeare's Hamlet says, to die, to sleep, I say. A sure way to die, sleep through lectures. This is an extract from Grammar Builder. So, pause the video and rewrite the paragraph correctly, right? And then I will put down the answer for you. So, hopefully you finished it by now. Let us have a look at it together. Our lecturer on Shakespeare appeared to live in a world of his own. Our faces seemed to be just a blur to him. When we greeted him, his notion of a friendly response was muttering, or you can say to mutter, okay? Was muttering or to mutter, either one. To mutter something with a vague smile. One of our joys, you can say, was taking, or you can say to take advantage of his absent mindedness. Sometimes his melodious voice proved to be soporific and some of us slept happily right in front of him. Right? One day, we were jolted awake by his calling out our names and saying, right, and saying, Shakespeare's Hamlet says to die, to sleep, right? I say a sure way to die is to sleep through lectures. Right. So, I think we've got everything here. Right? Oops. Right? we've got everything that we need here, and I've completed rewriting the passage, right, using common phrases as complements. So I think today we've had a look at noun phrases, right? And we've had a look at some of the rules, not all of it, but some of the rules which would be useful for you. So we've had a look at noun phrases as complements.